name's Petra. I'm 19 years old and I live in Wellington, New Zealand. I'm Greek with a big fat Greek family who came in really handy at 6 when I was diagnosed with a childhood cancer. I've relapsed 4 times from the ages of 6 to 15, so I've now been cancer-free for 4 years. But I'm now dealing with a new challenge. My body thinks it has cancer, so it's attacking itself. So if you're interested to find out more about me and follow me along my good days and my bad days, then I'd love to take you along. See you soon. Spent a lot of time in this room over the years. With my health, I'm always waiting to get better, and I had relapsed 4 times. And just as I thought I was going to get out of this room, I was diagnosed at 18 with Paraneoplastic Syndrome. So my journey now is all about finding a way how to get out of this room and really live my life. On a daily basis now, I'm dealing with Paraneoplastic Syndrome. And it's been produced in my body because my body thinks it still has cancer. So it's attacked the brainstem and it's made all the communications really slow, it's made them get muddled up. I'm dealing with having to think about walking and think about eating and think about looking and think about breathing because it's not automatic anymore. So I basically wake up every day going, what symptom's gonna be my challenge of the day? I've always flipped from being good Petra and being able to keep up with my friends and being able to do what everyone else can do to being an unwell Petra. And so that transition has always kind of been in my life of kind of flipping from one Petra to the other.
Petra is, to me, really courageous young person, and I try really hard to sort of really encourage her to be like who she really is.
Yeah, because she is really easygoing. The only thing that gets her down is when she gets frustrated because either she can't do something or she's not well.
Oh yeah, or if there's something on, like, you know, in the last weekend she missed out on a really close friend's birthday,
Well,
you know?
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm creating a vision board right now because I really like to visualize where I'm going and how I want to be and how I want to get there. So this is just basically me making it seem more real and giving me something to actually look at on a daily basis. So I'm cutting out things and sticking on things that I want my future to look like and gives me something to work towards, and it's just another way for me to get myself there. My whole life is about judging where my body's going and trying to work out what it needs. Started when I was 6, when I was diagnosed with neuroblastoma. It was a cancer in my back and it was about 6 by 10 centimetres, so it was pretty huge for a little 6-year-old girl.
She was, to all purposes to all of us, like a really fit and healthy little girl, and she just had like a freak little fall where she fell off this roundabout while we were in Waikanai and started to get quite sore on our way home, and then had quite a lot of trouble during the night with her breathing and not being able to get comfortable, so I thought, oh, she must have broken some ribs or something, so I took her to the doctors. We went for x-rays, and then they said to me, oh, send those through urgently. And then he kind of indicated that they've seen something on the x-ray. There's like this big white shaded piece. George and I were so naive at the time, and we're like, oh, I wonder what this white shading is. Maybe it's some bruising or something. But obviously that was the mass that they had found.
I had the usual chemo, radiation, surgeries as like the normal kind of protocol.
And then after that, yeah, she was cancer-free for about 3.5 years. And I remember just at the time, just before it happened again, just dropping her off to school and thinking, oh, she's looking so good. Petra kept complaining about back pain, and the oncologist thought I'd better have another little look into why she's still having some back pain, and then they realised there was, it had come back.
I was 9, I relapsed again, and then when I was 10, I relapsed again, and then when I was 15, I relapsed again. Since we'd already done the chemos and the radiation, and since it wasn't really working, we decided to do a different approach. So we did a spinal reconstruction where the doctors went in from the back and just took out the whole area. So we took out a couple ribs and a couple of my vertebrae from my spine and just lifted the whole area out, so there was kind of no chance that cancer could go anywhere. So that ended up being successful. So since then I've been cancer-free, and so it's really nice to say. So when I went to the Year 13 ball, that was probably the peak of me. I was going to school, I was ready to get my license, hang out with friends all the time. And I went to the ball and I had such an amazing night, and I woke up the next morning and my whole world had just changed. You know, we at first thought I was just dehydrated. So, I went to A&E and I got rehydrated, but for months, I still wasn't good. So now I've been diagnosed with Paraneoplastic Syndrome caused by anti-Q antibody. That's the full name of it. So we're trying out chemo again to see if that'll work. So I feel like a bit of a walking experiment. Instead of having it to fight cancer, I'm having it to trick my antibody that my body has produced to fight the chemo rather than taking my healthy tissues. In the last year, I've been having chemo once a month, and so it's been really hard to plan things because, chemo ends up taking out 3 weeks of my month, I have the chemo week, which I'm feeling really yuck about, and then I have the week where my counts have dropped, which I feel even more yuck about, and I've got the week where I'm recovering, so, it really takes out 3 solid weeks out of my month. I've only got 1 week to feel good and to enjoy myself because I'm feeling good, and then I end up right back at square one where I've got chemo again. At the moment, I'm just surrounding the antibody with really positive lights and colours, and now, once it kind of grows to that, I'm surrounding it with all my positive colours like healing and happiness and love to try, get the antibody to just deactivate and know that it's safe and know that it doesn't need to attack anymore. A really difficult thing that happens a lot is since I'm going through so much and I'm getting so overwhelmed and I'm getting really sick, it's a natural instinct to cry. But for me, crying means a breathing attack. I don't know why, I don't know what experience has made my body think that's the way to cry, but when I cry, it basically closes my whole throat up and I feel like I can't get air in or out. Since crying turned into a breathing attack, the art is a way for me to express my emotions. I was watching videos on my hard drive of I used to do these video diaries when I went to parties and when I was out with my friends and having fun, and I think it just kind of reminded me of how I used to be and what I used to do, and kind of feel a bit stuck on what I can relate to with my friends over, I don't understand, or I don't go through what they go through. I don't go to uni, I don't go to town. I don't go to town, I don't go and drink, So that's everything that 90% of the teenagers my age do, or the 20-year-olds do, and go to work, and I can't do that, so it's just...
Pet.
Hello.
How you going?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Had a good couple of days.
Yeah, no, I've been really good.
I'll just have a quick look. Last time we got together my notes, but you've got that Google Doc that you've been... Because we were going to
start on the ball.
So we were going to start with the story of a young girl at the prime, and at school.
In her prime time.
Yeah, going to balls, and then how that ends up badly, and then tracking back to the beginning to show how you got to that point, and what had gone on before. So that would be.
Anna's one of my mum's best friends, so I've grown up with her throughout my whole life. And at the moment, Anna's helping me with writing my book and doing my vlogs and helping me communicate with people and getting my visions and my ideas out to other people. And I just didn't want to go through life not making my mark on the world and not telling my story, because I'm like, I can't go through with this for nothing and nobody know about it.
So when we first talked about the book, you always talked about the three voices, your voice being the... I guess I've seen Petra at her absolute worst when she's been in some, really challenging times and having some very invasive treatments, but I've also seen her at her best. And it always strikes me how resilient she is and how she can be, having some really invasive treatment one day and, how she can be in her high heels walking out of the hospital on her way to a party the next. I think through the process of thinking about the book and also the art therapy, what she's able to capture is how her own coping mechanisms that she's developed over time, she's able to really understand her body and what her body needs, and when her body's not feeling well, that she needs to stop and look after herself.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
I'm good. How's your day?
Yeah, not too bad. Just finished work now and just going to start dinner up soon. And
What are you doing for dinner tonight?
I think just some chicken kumaras. Nothing too special. Have you thought about Gianni's?
I don't know yet. I don't know what we should go with. My brothers are Dimitri, which is my oldest brother, and then it's Jonathan, which is the middle, but we call him Johnny, and then I'm the baby. They've always taken me under their wing. They're always taking me with them where they go, if they're going to like a soccer game or if they're going to the movies. They're really protective of me. They're always watching over me, making sure I'm okay. Been in hospital now for about 5 days, I think it is. And so I came in because I just had like a regular virus that everyone else basically has in like the whole of Wellington right now. But since I can't clear my phlegm, that causes all my breathing problems. So we had to come in and I used the cough machine, which is over there, and I got some phlegm out, which was the first time I've gotten phlegm out for like years. So it was like a big achievement for me. So I've basically been on my CPAP the whole time. I've been on antibiotics. I've been on round-the-clock pain relief and things because since I've been stuck in bed for so long, I've been getting really sore. I've basically had to stay upright the whole time because every time I lean backwards, my airways start to play up and my gagging starts and I just can't clear the phlegm and things, so I've basically been upright now for like 5 days straight, so I'm pretty exhausted. So
quite tight,
yeah, it's in there, that's real sore too.
Okay, let me get in there. Getting our heads around this whole new diagnosis and what it actually means, and and again, nobody knows what's going to happen because there isn't a lot of information on it. There's not a lot of cases, especially in her age group. Or is it straight? Just here.
No, it just feels like quite stiff.
You see this young girl who's got so much potential and so much ability to do stuff, and whatever she does it so well. And yet, you know, she just gets held back physically by just fatigue and, you know, pain.
Thank you. Every night I try to do the same routine. My body can't do things by itself. It's about doing it physically to make it know it's time to go to sleep now. I'll take all my tablets, I'll get into bed, I'll put my CPAP on, and I'll put my music on, and then, so it's like my body kind of has a routine to know it's time to go to sleep now. My CPAP is pushing an ear and keeping my tongue in place, so I don't bite my tongue when I've got my CPAP on. During the night, I get these uncontrollable clamps. It must send just a wrong communication because everything's kind of muddled up, and my jaw just clamps. And a lot of the time, my tongue is in the way. So throughout this whole year, I've just been biting my tongue in my sleep. And last week, I ended up biting off half my tongue in my sleep, where there's like a bit hanging off, and it was really disgusting. The more active I am during the day and the more hyped up I get, the longer it takes me to wind down at the end of the day. When I know I'm having a really bad insomnia night, I usually actually get out of bed and I might go onto my laptop for a bit, I might go read for a bit, I look through my social medias. Because you're just sitting there and you're going, why can't I go to sleep? Body, just go to sleep. Why are you up, mind? Like, you just wind yourself more up when you're lying in bed and you're watching the hours go past. Yeah, so I just feel really like emotionally drained this week because of everything that's happened and stuff. So it's just hard to, like, when you're already down, to kind of make yourself feel up, which I always do. And I know I've only been down because I've been in bed, and it's a bit like, and it's coming up to the end of chemo now too, which is kind of like, what's our plan for after chemo? Like, what's going to happen then? Am I going to still continue to improve, or am I going to kind of deteriorate? So I guess the thought of that's a bit daunting as well. You have to wait until you kind of can start doing things again. It's always a waiting game. You have to just kind of wait out. There's nothing you can do when your body kind of really just shuts down, so just have to wait, and then I know I'll get back to where I am, but it's just a lot of waiting and thinking.
She's a lightweight fighting in a heavyweight division and surviving. You know, she's pretty impressive.
I definitely have a lot of down times. I know everyone gets sad, but, you know, it was kind of a big thing to let people see that I do get sad about it. Like, I do always think about how what I'm going through affects other people, and that's why I don't want to express how bad it is sometimes, because I don't want people to worry or to feel bad or upset anyone. I don't want to put my weight onto someone else and burden them.
As much as, you know, we give to her, she gives to us as well, and that's the thing, eh? She really keeps us going. She did it from really little. Lots of times she's always said something or done something that gave you that extra little bit of strength to keep going. And at the end, you know, we named her Petra, like a rock.
Well, it's ironic we did call name her Petra because in Greek it means rock.
Like, yeah, she really is our kind of base and foundation, eh?
Yeah.
Whenever I kind of get sad, I don't like to dwell on it, but a thing that I use to help get myself out of it is like my angel cards. I don't know if they're perfect for everyone, but this really works for me. This makes me feel good, and I just really love them. It's kind of like a coping mechanism for me. It's a managing thing. It's just something I'm really interested in. And it's also like another support system for me, I guess, because the angel cards always give me the answers I'm looking for, or they give me guidance, or they give me more knowledge. This reading right now is pretty accurate for me just because I was just in hospital and I lost a lot of weight, so there's a lot of food ones in here, which is really interesting because I've been knowing I need to eat more. I also need to give myself the vitamins it needs and all the healthy stuff it needs. I take out a bit from the medical, a bit from the spiritual, a bit from the mental, find what works for me, and that's what gets me through, and that's what keeps me going, and it keeps me sane. Yeah.
What you doing?
I'm just doing, trying to catch up on my book stuff because I haven't done much in the last few days.
Oh yeah, I just bought you something to eat.
Thank you.
Because, you know, you need to keep up with that at the moment. We did about 4 or 5 days in hospital, and the minute she spends quite a bit of time in hospital, she loses weight quite quickly and muscle mass quite fast. So we had a bit of a shock the other day. She got on the scales and it was all about 4 or 5 kilos lighter. There's really not much there to lose.
Today we're talking about my last week of chemo. It's been a tough 12 months because I've always had to be planning around chemo, but now I can stop that because I'm finally finished chemo. You know, and the best result for me would be, you know, if I can get out of this really stuck place that I've been in and, you know, to look forward to my future, because, you know, if I'm not sitting here in bed and feeling yuck, you know, that means I can finish my book and I can do my filming projects and I can plan to do whatever I want to do at any time of the month, you know? So I'm really looking forward to doing that and just, you know, to live my type of normal life, which, you know, will be really nice for me just to kind of really step into my own. Tonight the girls are coming over and we're just going to hang out, have a few drinks and chill out, which will be nice. I haven't seen them for a while because I've kind of been not too well, so it'll be nice to kind of have a little catch up and see their faces, because I always feel a lot better when I see them and actually hear what they're doing, and when I'm just around them I just feel better, like I'm actually doing something, and it's just, I love them all, so it's really fun. 3, 2, 1, There's obviously been times where I feel like discluded or like I can't relate to them because, you know, I'm doing such a different thing to them. You know, they're all working, they're all going to uni together, they're all partying together, but then they do come visit me here all the time.
Everyone who meets Pet, even if they're not like best friends, they like love her. Petra's personality is like fire. Like, you know, she'll give it to me. Like, if I need to be told, she will tell me. Or like, if someone's pissing me off, she will agree with me and more. She'll be like, what they're doing is effed. Like, imagine being so restricted that you can't even go and have lunch with your friends. Like, imagine that. Imagine how it would feel. Like, on my birthday, I can't believe that she has to watch our Snap stories, or, you know, like on Snapchat, watch all of her best friends have fun, and she's in hospital with a, you know, a breathing mask. Like, imagine how she must feel. Just commented. Well. Oh my gosh! I would agree. Got it wrong. Oh, here we go. It's DK.
What's going on in here?
Hey, there's something documentary. Let's get on. None of us are close with our siblings like Petra and Johnny and Dimitri. If Pet texts them, like, I need you to pick me up from a party at 4 o'clock in the morning, or like, you need to take me to the hospital, they will drop everything to take her. It's like, envy their relationships with their siblings.
Oh, yes!
You guys have to stop drinking and start eating now.
We're struggling to do the day-to-day stuff, and you know, at the end of the day, if you can't breathe or sleep or eat properly or chew, it's quite scary. I just want her to just, like, she can go out and she can have a family and have her own kids and this and that. Yeah, of course, but I have to make sure he's alright. Not gonna have anyone.
You have to approve, eh?
She's gone through so much that it's not gonna throw away at someone that's not worth it.
If I'm feeling yuck right now, I feel yuck. Feel good right now, I'm gonna make the most of it. I'm gonna go see my friends. I'm gonna get out of the house. I'm gonna get out of this room and go and do what I want. Like, yeah, so I'm just quite open to just whatever life kind of throws at me and just accepting it all and just kind of moving on when I can.
When you're ready, 3, 2, whatever. This must be very hard.
Hi guys, so I'm on the set of my 48-hour film festival scene. This is kind of where the main event takes place. I'm really excited to be directing because it's my first kind of really big job in filmmaking, and I've always really loved doing filmmaking since I was little, so today's actually my first opportunity to actually do that. It kind of follows his gaze, maybe. Yeah.
We're going to have to actually do 2 reps, right?
And then just kind of sit in the background, just kind of outcast it. But just now I'm starting to get a bit tired, so I think it's time for rest. Hey guys, so today I'll be talking about my good week. So this week I've been doing the 48-hour film festival. It's been amazing. And just a classic example of me is, last week I'd bitten off half my tongue, I ended up in a hospital not being able to breathe without a breathing machine, not being able to cough, not being able to get my phlegm up. And then this week is totally different. I've been directing a movie, I've been filming all day, I've been keeping up with everyone. So it just shows how much of a roller coaster my life is, how one day to the next can be completely different, how 1 week to the next can be dramatically different. I hope my body just continues down this road and continues down this path because I'm really loving being this Petra. I haven't been this Petra in a while, and that's why I'm so open to everything, because who knows what's gonna happen tomorrow. It could be good, it could be bad, but I'm willing to find out. And I'll see you guys next week.
Petra wants to answer your questions, so head to our Facebook page and ask away. And to view more of Petra's story, go to attitudelive.com.
We love you so much, Petra.
Alright, mate, guys, let's look at the camera again.
Attitude was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.